Hi everyone, my name is Anirudh. Through this video, I am going to explain Section 5 of Transfer of Property Act 1882. First, I will read out the Bare Act. If you have a Bare Act with you, try to follow along with me. Transfer of property defined in the following sections. Transfer of property means an act by which a living person conveys property in present or in future to one or more other living persons or to himself and one or more other living persons, and to transfer property is to perform such act. In this section, living person includes a company or association or body of individuals, whether incorporated or not, but nothing herein contained shall affect any laws for the time being in force relating to transfer of property to or by companies or associations or bodies of individuals. So in this particular section 5 of transfer of property, some important words are property. Property means both movable and immovable property. And other word act. Act means to transfer the property. Another word living person. The important principle in transfer of property is the transfer of property must happen between two living persons only. So that means at the time of transfer, the person who is transferring the property must be alive, and the person who is receiving the property also must be alive. That means the transaction should happen between two inter vivos. Inter vivos means two living persons. And another word is conveys. Conveys means to transfer the property. So when what is the at what time, the based on the time of transfer, we can say that property can be transferred at a present point of time and future point of time also. For example, if you are transferring the property today, that may be called as present transfer. Suppose if you are transferring the property after 6 months, that means future transfer. Next important word is one or more other living persons. As I said just now, the transfer of property must happen between two living persons only. However, there are some exceptions which are mentioned in other sections of this act. But the fundamental principle is the transfer should happen between two living persons only. So A is a person. He have 4 acres of land. He want to transfer that property to B. That means B should be alive and A also should be alive at the time of transfer. If both the persons are alive only, he can transfer the property. A can transfer the property to B. And second example, A is having 4 acres of land. He wanted to transfer the property to 4 persons, B, C, D and E equally. So that means he is transferring the property to one or more other persons. More other persons means any number of persons. There is no limit. A person can transfer to any number of persons. In this example, A is transferring 4 acres of land to B, C, D and E equally. That means B, C, D and E will get each 1 acre of land. So I said this to explain what is the meaning of more other living persons, or to himself and more or other living persons. So himself, uh, there can be situations where a person will transfer a property to himself also. For example, A is the owner of a company and there are many properties in the name of the company. This person A want to transfer a particular property on his family name jointly. So what he will do, he will transfer the property as a owner of the company to his own family members, which includes person A also. That means as a owner of the company, he is transferring the property, and the receiver among the family members, this person also will be there. So the person who is transferring the property is transferring the property to himself. In this kind of situations, this can happen. To himself and one or more other living persons, and to transfer the property is to perform such act. Act means to transfer the property. And second part of this section 5 give is explaining who is a living person. Living person includes a company, association, or body of individuals. That means a company is also a living person. A association is also a living person. A body of individuals is also a living person. That means a company, association, body of individuals are given the legal status as a person. That means an artificial person, whether incorporated or not. That means incorporation is not mandatory. At